Hey guys, how are you? So today I'm outside my house. I wanted to make a quick video to show something. I want to show you the neighborhood I live, but the most important part of showing the neighborhood I live is showing you a little bit about how much people purchase home, and especially in the normal type of cities or states, the most affordable, because I lived in living into 3 states. I lived in West Virginia, then I lived in California, now I live in Missouri, Kansas, Missouri. So that means I have a little bit of good knowledge of explaining the cost of living of some places. So this is my home, as you can see. It is within almost more than almost half an acre land. That's where it is. The neighborhood is a very nice neighborhood, very quiet. You can see from here where I live to the police station is like less than 2 miles from where I live. Where the fire station is, where the police is nearby. There is a nice park. The malls are within less than 4 miles from where I live. So everything is pretty much nearby. So you can see the homes are not that close one another, so it's very, very nice neighborhood. Yeah. And this road they upgraded the 2019, so it's a little bit brand new, so in that particular way. So that is first of all just they started from the outside. But the question you might ask yourself, how much like these type of homes, like that is my neighbor, and how much like the home like mine, this one, how much does it cost the home like this one? As I said, it also depends on where you live. The homes which are around this neighborhood, they are not exceeding $200,000. Ours was about 170 something US$. Then it was reduced on a special kind of sale, so we bought for less than 160,000. So that's the cost or the price of our home. But the question is, this type of home, you can see like these types of homes which you can see here, you can get for less than 200,000, for instance. They are so expensive if you are going to the bigger and the most expensive states. For instance, if you go to California, the same home which you buy for 150, 160, 175 here, $1,000 you can get for over $1 million. That's why. That is our neighbor. That neighbor has, you see, the neighbor has a lot of chicken around there. You can see there is a chicken climbing on the fence. So they have the chicken around, free-range chicken. So sometimes they sell the organic eggs. You are allowed, so there are certain regulations, you are allowed to have chicken, there is a number. But here, because we are almost very far from city limits, so we are allowed to have more chicken sometimes, and nobody cares much. So I want to show you at the back. You can see the backyard, and when I see like how much this type of home cost is this way. I'm not going to show much of the inside, but if you want, I can show just the pictures of it. I don't want to start roaming around and showing everything. So you can see usually we have smaller fence. It's depending on the if you go to California, for instance, you'll find the fences the wall is not like this small fence like what you can be able to see over here. So I just want to show you. You can see sometimes at the back I have electrical machine, and the other machine over there, and inside I have the treadmill, and I have the stationary bike. So you see, it is a very big backyard basically, where you can be able to play around for the kids. You can see it is a very big one. It ends up to there on that fence. So sometimes you can decide if you want to be running from one side over there, coming to the end. So that is the home from the back. The good thing, we have a lot of trees, so even if it is, yes, it is very, very hot here during the summer. So even if how hot it is, we have enough trees, so it helps a lot. And here is where I put my garden. I'm already getting ready today and tomorrow but it's going to rain, so I don't want to start craziness. So here is where I plant my tomatoes, corn or maize. I planted some peppers, and this year I'm going to plant amaranth. I plant over there we have strawberries. You can see on that one we have strawberries over there. They're already coming up. I also planted the lemongrass. So few things I usually plant here. So, but how do you manage? How are you able to afford to buy a home like this one or the home like that one? How are you able to do that? We don't buy the homes by cash per se. Yes, you need to have what we call the down payment, which most of the time is about 20% the worth of the home or the price of the house you are going to purchase. So two or three things you need to have. Number one is obviously you need to have the income. You have to have a stable income. Do you have a job, or do you have let's say you have the business you have to show? But if you are self-employed, you need to show at least 3 years of stability of your business. But if you have a good job, even if you have been in that job for 3-4 months, they are okay with that because they know it is a guarantee income coming to you than if it's a self-business. So that is number one. Number two, you need to have a very good credit score. Mainly, most of the companies they want at least 620 is the lowest and going up. But also in other cases, also you need to have also apart from the credit and a good job. Also you need to pay the down payment, the 20%, unless otherwise you are a veteran. So on my particular case, I didn't pay any percent. Why I didn't pay any percent? For me it is a little bit different from others. That's why I usually tell people to become veterans, to decide to join to become veterans, because once you become a veteran, your loan is guaranteed by the Department of Veteran Affairs, which is a government. So don't need to pay anything at all as a down payment. So for me, with this home, where I was supposed to pay a lot, I ended up just having the home without paying anything. I paid $1,000, and that amount was only for inspection and a few things related to cleaning. That's all. But basically, I didn't pay anything much on that particular case. So those are the things usual you need to know, or you need to have. It's just like kind of that. But depending again on the state, as I said, the home like these kind of homes, if you go and try to find these kind of homes in California, you find these homes in the bigger states, like you are going to New York, these are $1 million homes. But here in Kansas, Missouri, Ohio, you go to Texas, these are just normal type of homes. They are not that bigger homes like crazy, no. But the good thing about this one, you have a backyard where you can do so much. You can do a lot of things, just apart from just as I show you, apart from playing around. For instance, here there is one neighbor. They are moving out. That's why you see they haven't even cut the grass yet. But that is where they are. They are just moving out. They were planning to sell this house, but later they decided to rent it. So you can see how far the backyard is. It is very far until to that particular fence. So if you are looking for the state to live, I usually advise people don't complicate and go to the big cities and big states. There is no fancy to say, oh, I live in California, I live in New York, I live in Chicago. So what if you live in Chicago? Are you stressing out your life, or you are really enjoying the life in America? Because in the end, America is America. If you go to the movie theater, it's the same company movie theater. If you go to Walmart, it's the same Walmart. If you go to Target, it's the same Target. If you go to any particular state, it's the same thing. So don't start complicating your life and thinking that, oh, if I live in New York, I'll be a better off. I'll be more like living in town versus rural life. Kind of that. So depending on what you like and how much you make, what type of job, but in general, the states like California, New York, we are talking about even Massachusetts, if you live in Boston, Maryland, DC, northern part of Virginia, all those are so expensive states. So you have to be careful what you are going to. If you are DV lottery winner, for instance, you are coming to America, yes, if your host is there, you can go there, but you are not obliged to stay there forever. You can stay there and then you find a way to find another job in another city or another state, and just try to figure out how you can be able to survive on your own. Yeah, so okay, so that is something I want to show you quick about the home around my home, and how much I paid for, and how big it is in general. You can be able to see with the backyard and everything. You can be able to play around. The kids can be able to enjoy. It's a very good place to raise children. So all those kind of things are very important. You have to look at the crime rate of that particular area, accessibility, all those kind of things. All those are very important things to consider when you want to purchase a home. So thank you so much. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel.